Well, welcome to HomeBhoys Live Podcast. Somebody's got the speakers on. Fuck me. It is Wednesday, the 22nd of October. Who the fuck's that?
It's not fucking me anyway.
Fucking hell, man. Nothing goes right. Tell you what, this just proves that nothing's going right. There's a glitch in the matrix. Nothing's going fucking right. I can't even get through the first 5 seconds of a podcast without fucking it up. Now, that's not necessarily unusual, right? But anyway, I'm of course Joe McKenna. It's Wednesday, 22nd of October. We are back. We are fucking pissed off, and you're all going to hear about it. We had normally we would like a 10-15 minute chat before the show if things are going well. We go, oh. See, this was like walking into a wake of a person you didn't know. I mean, just standing around going, all right, that's the fuck I tell you, all right, that pissed off. I fuck. It's very sad. No, it's very sad. I'm joined by Marty Flynn, whose name is done dead.
I'm angry as hell. I'm not gonna take it anymore.
Nor should you. Get a bouncy ball and join the brigade. Let's go. Grab a tangerine and fucking head for the mountains.
And I've just said the wave's only out there making me a cup of tea and it's fucking stinking.
You know what? Shame that one publicly. Let's go.
Bastard.
And joined by the wisest man, the HomeBhoys, Scotty. What's happening?
Fuck, if I'm the wisest man, we're done. We're done for, mate. Aye.
It's a low bar, let's be honest.
I've been better. Do you know what fantastic thing I done to prime myself for this fucking extravaganza?
What?
I fucking listened to a podcast fucking just before Anne's get appointed.
What the fuck? Trying to do yourself up?
What was the strategy behind that?
Because I wanted to see what we were talking about with it. So it was interesting because it was right. It was like a couple of days after the Celtic Shared Initiative came out. And
yes.
Do you remember that? And
yes.
And it seems that I went to a fucking thing, but I can't remember one thing about it. So
because you were drunk?
No, I don't think so, man. It's a good chance here, but I don't think it was.
PTSD being on the front line, Scott. PTSD.
Aye. Fucking hell.
Right, we'll get into that in a second. And also joined by Longshanks.
Can you hear me all right? Can you hear me on there?
We can hear you okay.
I can't hear Scott at all. I can hear you two, but not Scott.
Really?
That's a fucking blessing in disguise.
I was going to say, he's a specky digit anyway.
Contribute the most.
Can you hear him say anything at all? Scott, speak there.
I can see he's kind of his avatar moving obviously when he's speaking, but I can't hear anything. I can kind of a tiny glitch at the bottom, but nothing I can make out.
You're a fucking Chapman's wanker, English bastard.
Can you hear that?
No, just you, Marty.
Oh fuck! Right. Hold on. Let me take you off, Liam. And,
before you go, he says you're a Chapman's wanker.
When I get back on, we can ask him.
And he's not fucking wrong.
And when we get back on, I'll ask him who was at the bar fucking last time I went in there.
Ooh, who?
The big redneck.
Scott, was he? Aye, fuck. Sure.
Of course, yeah.
I'm going to kick you out of the studio and you come back and Liam and him.
All right, no worries. Come.
This is going fucking well, isn't it? Jesus Christ, I've all made it.
Gremlins in the system, folks. Gremlins in the system.
We'll get a job with Celtic with this fucking level of quality.
Aye. There's us going like, fucking Celtic's fucking digital side is pish. I mean, fuck's sake, we can't even get a guy to hear us.
Fucking he is.
They're out there. They're out there, Scott. Right, Liam, you back?
I'm back.
Scott, speak.
He's acting a cunt.
Yeah, sadly I can hear him now.
Hi, Liam. Hi.
Hello, my Chapman's friend. How are you?
There we go. Right,
up the main street.
We are 5 minutes in of nothing but chaos. Fair play to us. Thank fuck Jason's not here to be giving us all pelters.
Because the IT expert forgot about
that. Told us all once his computer didn't have a hard drive. It's like, well, it's not my computer then, isn't
it? Was he not part of a Guinness heist in Donegal at the weekend?
His liver is hanging on the washing line, I'd say.
I said to him yesterday, his body's like a hemochromatosis fucking check-in centre, man. Some amount of Guinness and boys had.
That's
Hey,
it. Maybe the
iron deficiency will never be a problem among that crew. Right. So the last time we were on was just after the Motherwell game, and there was a lot going on in terms of opinions. And I think we were all quite happy to go into the international break and just go, fucking, let's forget about this for a bit. I don't know if you feel the same as me, but I was kind of like going, you know what? I could do it tuning this out for a bit. And then we come back and we've all got, well, I've had some, not high hopes, but like at least hopes that things could, kick on a bit. Maybe like there'll be some sort of difference of, tone in terms of the team, in terms of how they play after the international break. Maybe something would have happened. Don't know. And we got served up Dundee on Sunday, which was grim. And I suppose who of you was there?
Yeah.
Neither of you was there, no?
I was there.
You were there, were you?
Yeah.
The two of us were there, right? So I'll go first. I mean, like, I didn't know that protest was going to happen. I was in the house watching it. Whistle went, kickoff happened. I was like, you know what, I'm going to turn the kettle on. Then turn the kettle on, come back out. I was like, fuck's the
Somebody fucked you in the apple with a ball, did they?
What the fuck's going on here? I was looking at all the bouncy balls going like, is this like that fucking ad for fucking, was it fucking Dulux paint years ago? And then the little balls did the fucking street. I was like, what the fuck happened here? And there's fucking lads. I was like, what the and then it kind of clicked. I was like, oh, this is a protest. And then I showed you fucking Nicholson, who wasn't shrugging his shoulders. And
did they show you Nicholson, did it?
It did show Nicholson on the TV. It kind of went, they didn't go straight to him, but as they were kind of shoveling shit off the thing, it kind of went to him. And then it went to the section where the banner was. The banner of their faces kind of sort of stopped saying out, that sort of thing. And I was like, I actually felt okay, but people are getting dead angry. But I was like, do you know what? You have to do something. You have to have a voice. If this is the voice you get to have, then that's the voice you get to use. Because clearly, as we've talked in the last podcast with the lads that were on, the other option is just really, it's not really going to get you anywhere. I don't mean to bring it to that level right now, but I want to kind of ask you, going into the game and being at the game, what was the kind of reaction to the protest, and what was the kind of tone going into the game? Whichever one of us wants to go first. Flip a coin, heads or tails?
Go for it, Liam.
All right. So I drove to the game. It's the third away game I've been to this year, and I've been sober at all of them. It's been really quite strange being sober at an away game. So I drove up. Jason sorted me a couple of tickets, me and Zoe, so that was good news. I had that renewed optimism that 2 weeks away from watching Celtic brings, which was good as well. So me and Zoe are on the way up in the car, tunes on, all the usual, just having a good crack and a good carry on, and then we had a go at picking the team on the way up as we usually do. And we pick a team that we want to see playing, and then a team that we think Brendan Rodgers will select. And between us, we got 11 out of 11 from the team that Brendan Rodgers would select, as opposed to the team we wanted to see playing. And when you saw that team come out, I just felt like fucking turning the car around and going back home, because you were pretty sure what you were gonna see. And I was fairly confident we were going to win that game by a few goals before heading up. Even though we've been playing really poor, I thought that this is one of the games we'll just, by virtue of having the better players, we'll just get it done, get it over the line. So we got up there, picked the tickets up. It was a pretty miserable day when it started. It was pissing around, just the usual kind of, October, Scotland day. I was in the main stand for the first time. I'd never been in there before, up at Dundee, which was a very oddly configured old stadium. So you can only really see kind of half the opposite side of the stand. The stand on the other side of the pitch, you can only see about half of it. Stadium just felt, apart from the Celtic end, the stadium felt almost virtually empty. There's no music or any stadium announcement. There's a random stadium announcement, but there's no atmosphere. There's no build up at all. It just felt really, really subdued. The Celtic support were really, really quiet until about a minute or two before the game, apart from the odd applause when the team finished warming up. So it kind of just felt a bit flat and a bit kind of like, here we go again. But you're just hoping that we'll kick off and we'll have a bit of adrenaline, a bit of drive, and kind of start the game well. And I wasn't aware until I'd read this week that we hadn't scored in the first 26 minutes of the game all season, which didn't surprise me after I read it, but that's a shocking statistic for a team like us. And then I never knew about the demo either, so the ball kicked off. I'm kind of looking the other way towards the Dundee goal, and then just saw the referee blow and all this stuff coming on. And Scott, I assume you were behind the goal with your ticket?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was in the main stand, and I've been reading all the chat on the huddle board and whatever, and obviously, the view was it was well backed by the match-going fans, which certainly behind the goal. It was quite a bit of booing around where I was. I don't know the makeup of the people in there. We got the tickets through some local pals of Jason's, so I don't know if it was corporate lounge people in there or just a different. I don't know who was there. Not massive numbers, but there was this. You could hear it. It was kind of significant enough for what it was. But I don't necessarily think people were booing the protest as such. I think just people were like, fuck, just holding the game up and kind of, with such a slow start, it's just kind of, we're not going to help get a rhythm or get us playing well. And but I'm broadly supportive of everything the collective's doing just now, and this is their opportunity to do what they need to do and get that message across. And like you said, Joe, Sky covered it, Nicholson was on, and plenty of others are on, so it achieved its goal, absolutely. And then the game just went to absolute fucking rat shit from pretty much from the start. I think Iniacho hit the post with a decent effort, but we just looked. It was just the same as always, wasn't it? Ralston looked like he was really struggling. He wasn't really moving himself forward. He was just trying to play safe, but he was leaving balls short to Yang all the time. Yang, who we've said, that's the worst I've ever seen him play, managed to outdo himself. Once again, and you've got to wonder when there's so many other professional players on the books at Celtic, how he still gets picked for a game, especially when you're playing not your first choice right back as well. So you're leaving yourself really exposed on that side of the pitch, and just no rhythm, no nothing, and then just defaulted to the same old McGregor to the two centre halves, back again, back, full backs back again. But just Dundee were just looking, every time they got a counter attack against us, looked a threat. Our defence looked all over the place. First goal coming, which was a bit of a shocking goal to concede. They probably could have scored at least once, if not twice, before that. A couple of times it got down between Scales and Tierney and put balls flashed across the front of the goal, which they could have finished, which we seemed to get away with. But we didn't take that kind of warning, and then conceded the goal, like I said, which was really poor. I think Carter Vickers was marking the man who got the goal, but was nowhere near him once the boy put the header in. I noticed a bit later on in the first half from the corners, for the four people that are marking their tallest players, if you like, Yang is actually one of them. They've got Yang marking their centre halves or the centre forwards or whatever from a corner, which is mind blowing. Tierney then had a good chance to equalise, which he should have scored from. And then we huffed and puffed a bit, and conceded an even worse second goal. I mean, the 3 or 4 players around the boy who broke out could have took him down, just powder puff challenges. Midfielders nowhere to be seen, fullbacks all over the place. Fair play to Dundee. I thought Dundee were excellent all game. I thought they were well deserving of the win. You could see they played for a manager who had worked on a tactic, worked on a formation, worked on a way of playing all week or all 2 weeks, and every one of them carried it out to the absolute letter and put 100% in through the whole game. So they were fully deserving. The booing of the team was probably one of the worst I've seen at half time. It was unfortunate for them and the manager, I guess, that the tunnel's kind of right in the middle of the two sections of the Celtic fans. There's kind of no hiding place, really. You have to walk right into that corner of where all the support is, and it was pretty vociferous when they were coming off the pitch. And then you see a few players warming up, so it became pretty obvious to me that Kenny and Forrest were coming on, so you thought, that's good, at least we're trying something different. So, it was pretty easy to work out Ralston and Yang were coming off, and we were going to go to a 3-5-2. So, trying something else. But even with bringing Kenny on, it's fine to do that and put more bodies up front. But if you just think going to spend most of the game just circulating the ball around the back, 3 players, it's pointless. Do you know what I mean? And we were a bit out of luck. You know, Hatate could and should have had a couple of goals. Penalty obviously wasn't a penalty in the end, but you know, it was probably a centimetre away from catching his hand. A few bounces around for their second goal. So it's just one of them days, but Dundee deserved all the luck that was there, or whatever luck that they had. You know, Celtic could have been still playing now, and I doubt would have scored a goal. And it just was a performance befitting the complete malaise around the club from top to bottom just now. And it was a long, miserable day there and back with a lot of driving. So I was glad to get into Scott's favourite pub by the time I finally got home and dropped the car off for a couple of pints, well-deserved pints. So, yeah, not too pretty a story from me, unfortunately.
Scott, you must have some sort of levity nose to bring to that, no? You must have been patient.
I agree with everything. Right, so as with regards the protest, right, so Liam, I presume that none of you actually read the fucking emails we get.
No, I don't get time to do fuck all these days, honestly. So no, I don't, Scott. To be honest, and I probably should.
I'm not looking for an excuse, Liam. Yeah. And Joe, you as well. I guess you don't read them, right? Okay. So the meeting on the Thursday before.
Sorry, I was muted there. Sorry, Scott. No, I don't read them. I see them coming in, and they're read generally by you, and you're meant to let fellas.
So fair dues. I mean, ultimately, there was an indication by the group that there would be a protest of some sort. Now, due to the nature of the protest, coming out and fucking telling the world what we were going to do is because it's actually fucking illegal what we've done. Do you know what I mean? So there's your reason why it wasn't widely fucking known what was happening. But generally, supporters buses kind of knew the script, hence why there was so bloody many of them. Do you know what I mean? Whether you agree with it or disagree with it, so I suppose we can come back to the protest. I think we'll leave the protest. Talk about the game. The protest thing, I thought we were going to protest before the game kicked off, but it kind of never happened, and we kicked just as it kicked off. As has been mentioned a million times before, if a team gets put off by a wee delay like that, then we are proper fucked, I have to say, because does VAR no fucking knacker them then every fucking time there's a wee delay? But alas, one of our players has come out and said, nah, the protests aren't affecting them, right? So, first hand review, you've been told no. I dare say there'll be people out there who'll go, nah, shut up, you don't know what you're talking about, he's telling lies, you're all pricks. But alas. So game-wise, we have been fucking rotten, do you know what I mean? There's no two ways about it. I've just saw a fucking Hearts food appeared in the fucking thing, God's sake. When I was out I was watching a Hearts Hibs game last week, I was in a boozer where there was Hearts and Hibs fans, all with scarves before the game, which I thought was kind of mad. But I ended up sitting away with 4 Hearts fans. And I said to Matt there, I says, boys, if you've ever got fucking any thoughts about winning this league, this is your fucking main time to go for it. So we went up to Dundee, and I think with Celtic we're kind of blind faith a wee bit. I was on Tino's show, the Celtic Exchange, on Friday, and he asked me a prediction, and Joe, Marty were long on the tooth that, you know, I don't like them fucking predictions, do you know what I mean? But I joined in and I says, Dundee are crap. We're no as crap as them. We should win. And honestly, it was the most, I don't know, abject performance I've seen for Celtic. Maybe since the Kairat games.
Which wasn't that fucking long ago when you think about it.
No, and Marty, and that's me dipping the Rangers game, which was garbage.
Mm-hmm.
Done, mate. The midfield was killing me. We spoke about it. The defence decided to have their worst game of the season, and we don't know what we're doing at attack. We don't look like a fluid system. We've become predictable already with regard to Netke. Playing Yang for the start. I mean, Liam says he predicted the team. Fair fucks to you, because when I heard Yang was playing, I was stunned. Stunned, man. I could not believe we started Yang. But anyway,
But sure, you knew you hadn't got Maida.
I know we had Maida, but you've got two guys there. I thought Tanecki would have moved. I thought James Ford maybe have started. I thought Balak Wisher was a shooty in to start, to be honest, after coming in. I thought something would have happened. After the last performances of Yang, I thought Yang was done with Celtic. I really did. And for him to come in and then give the performance that he didn't surprise me. And especially when Tony Ralston struggled as much as Yang behind him. But what's scary, lads, is I bet you Dundee's centre-halves have no had an easier game in their life.
Yeah.
And we never tested the keeper. We never dragged anybody about. We done the exact same thing time and time again. At least Dundee ceded the possession to us. That at least forced us back to the halfway line. We were doing this, and it was garbage. It was so inept. It was easy for them. I don't think Dundee were particularly fucking magic, but they deserved that game by a stretch. By a fucking stretch. Just by being organised.
But that's the thing, Scott. I think they definitely nailed the fact that everybody knows now that if you can keep Celtic about playing football around 20 to 25 yards away from your goal and just stand in front of them and kind of make sure you can cut out about a third of the team.
Mate, but you know the one that kills me, all the boys who know me, the one that kills me is when McGregor passes it to say Hatate, and Hatate's got a guy in his arse, and the guy doesn't move. And then we pass it back to McGregor, and nothing's happened apart from fucking a minute's passed. Do you know what I mean?
Being busy for the sake of being busy.
Yeah. I mean, you've got to be dragged. I mean, I played centre half. I was short. I was a fullback. Played centre half because it was better. It was better for me. Didn't know as much running, but see a team that pull you to position. I mean, how does William Scales get pulled so out of position so easily? Ashton Trusty, remember where he'd end up in the pitch? It just seems every week people are dragging us about, but we just can't. We can't get in there.
And if we do, it's generally some sort of either sideward sort of cross low, because fucking corners aren't working and set pieces aren't working.
No,
or something that picks through the defence and it just doesn't work out.
I've told you before, I've stopped cheering corners. I still laugh when people all go and cheer the corners.
Best corner taker we have is Arnie Engels, and he's not that great.
Hold your water now, Joe. Let me just get all this shit finished. Right. So Hatate, who I thought in the main was garbage, gave us our best outlet with the two boys on the top. At the game, I thought Tierney should have squared it. I was going, it's a tap in if he squares it. Watching it back, he's going to shift onto his other foot to have a shot and he fucking misses the target. It's fucking garbage. As you say, Iheanacho's chance off the post is really good out of nothing.
Yeah.
Midfield, terrible. Tanecki closed out the game. We spoke about Tanecki. I says, a worry I had about him was no releasing the ball at the right time. That's becoming apparent. He's doing the same thing over and over and over. On the right, Yang. Yang just didn't want the ball, and we didn't want to give him the ball. I went off my fucking nut, unlike you, at half time because we were bringing Johnny fucking Kenny on. And I'm all for that. Do you know what? I'm really no all for one giving people a chance anymore. I think it's fucking. I'm maybe change tomorrow when I see the team, but I'm fucking sick, man. I'm sick of them all. I'm sick of all the players. I'm sick of the manager. I'm sick of the club. I'm sick that we're in the fucking same position again. I think me and you are kind of the most a wee bit more open-minded than a lot of Celtic fans with regards should Celtic not win this league and somebody else actually does, but it's just so frustrating that this is all your own fucking making.
Yeah,
You know
exactly.
It's it's infuriating.
Yeah, you want it to be a club just going over and above what they're normally capable of, and then we just maybe a bit off it, but not a complete collapse from us.
And as I spoke about last week, we've done all this with a load of Celtic fans all going, if we don't watch it, this will happen. I mean, J-Bo called it for fucking the summer, didn't he? It was like, this has got COVID written all it. The manager's turned into Neil Lennon. I mean, somebody's caught that comment at the end of the game is fucking nonsense. I don't know what but he's on the fucking telly talking to English journalists, which leads me to believe he's fucking ready for the Joe the Toff, which might not be a bad thing. Again, we'll talk about that. But in summary of the game, I suppose there is a bit of luck that Dundee carried. That we always know the script. For Dundee to be beating Celtic, we've got to be off. They've got to be all right, and they've got to carry a bit of luck. They got a bit of luck with Tierney no hitting the target, a tatty shot coming off the boy's arse, and then the second one, the first one, the boys blocked off CCV pretty well, but CCV, we've spoken about this in the past, it's got to be better. And then the second one's come off of CCV after fucking a boy ridicules Liam Scales. And ridicules a fucking term for it, because had one of our boys done that to a Dundee player, we'd be fucking sneering about it. As you say, I don't think Dundee will do much after this. It's like Kyrat, I mean, sitting watching them in the Champions League, but I don't grudge them their fucking winning the slightest. I think we're in a bad way, and the manager's compounded it with his decisions and his pre-match. So sorry, I can't be anywhere near that. Cheers up.
Good times, Scott. I'm glad you brought some levity to the situation there. I'm glad
I did tell you I'm fucking not into this.
Oh, hell, man.
And here's the thing, I had a look at the stats, right? And it was like 81% possession of Celtic. More shots on target, more touches in the opposition box, all this stuff. But football's played on grass, and you knew like the longer the game went on, fuck all was going to change. You said about Tierney squaring the ball. Scott, Tierney should have fucking hit the ball with his right foot. It was a disgrace.
No, that's Mark. That was at the game at the time. I
know. Listen, I'm not having a fucking go at you. But a player who's being paid that amount of money who can't take an instinctive shot on a different foot is appalling. Like, it was just shocking. I actually thought Iheanacho had a very good game. He was busy and he was trying to fucking make chances. He could have had a couple of goals on a better day or a different day. I just think Carter Vickers is done. And you're talking about Liam Scales being pulled out of position. That's probably part of the reason, because Carter Vickers isn't really performing at all anymore. I think that injury is here to stay, and again, it comes back to bad planning. We've known this for at least a year. It was this time last year Rodgers was talking about his injury, and that's unsettled the whole defence. Anthony Ralston, really, I mean, he had that shot at the end. I think it landed in fucking Tannadice. It was just shocking ability, from a professional footballer. He couldn't either put a shot on target, hit it off somebody's arse, or at least put a cross in, and try and make something happen. Konechny is frustrating, and as you say, he's going to be easy to play against, because they'll just say, just anytime he gets the ball, run two men at him. he won't know what to do. And you saw that as well in one stage where he was in great position and then all of a sudden the ball was lost and he was chasing back and I think he made a foul, the Dundee player at the time.
Well, for
Just
the second goal, why doesn't he? I mean, it's fucking.
no,
You don't need to be
100%.
fucking Einstein. You know what I mean?
Bring him down. I know. And Scales too. Like Scales is busy. He's playing his part in the sense that he's putting the fucking effort in. But you could just tell the gap in quality. And here's the thing: like a player like Liam Scales, for all his strengths, and he's not a bad player, but he should be streets ahead of Dundee United, and he got ragged all the whole match. And that second goal, like they just made a cunt out of him. Do you know what I mean? It's fucking shocking. It really is. And also Schmeichel, I'm fairly sure Schmeichel had a save off Scales as well. There was another one he let go, and the ball fizzed across the face of goal, and Schmeichel saved it. It was actually quite a decent save.
Yeah.
So for all the stats and fucking number crunching and expected goals and all that bollocks, like it was just a really, really shocking spectacle of football. And you're saying there about the size of the squad and Yang starting. I wasn't one bit fucking surprised Yang started. Like Yang scored against Partick the other week, so he's in Rogers' thoughts as a player who can score. So he's just so bereft of options now in terms of creativity that everybody is in line, and that's probably what's going to happen. He's fucking chop and change, and and to kind of elevate the view of the season so far. Like it has been such a fucked up season from the word go, from pre-season onwards, and you have players here who don't know each other. Literally, who are again, I hate this time of year. It's one of the reasons I hate running up against the transfer window because you have players who have no clue. Rogers doesn't have a clue. He's trying to fucking fit them in the places, particularly with injuries, like the likes of Maida or Jota. And that's what we were saying. Like, there's no creativity, and all your creativity won't be back until after Christmas, and it'll probably take him fucking 2 months to get his boots on his feet. I don't see anything changing. I'll be pleasantly surprised if it does, but I just think we're in this rut. We're going to have to weather it. Rogers, his attitude is always the same, that the business end of the season starts in February. So he'll be happy enough at the minute to stay close to whoever he needs to stay close to, be it Hearts or Huns or whoever, and he'll want to see the transfer window in January, and then he will. He always says that it's that period between February, March, and April where leagues are won. So it's like we're all looking to him for some sort of fucking inspiration, whatever else. But again, as you were saying about the squad, about like who should be starting, and this is perfect territory. Like Hatate is abominable. I just want that cunt out the fuck. I don't give a fuck what chances he made at the weekend. He was playing against Dundee. He was awful, absolutely terrible. And I'm looking back at the likes of Josh McCown, and I watched him very closely the other week when he was playing at Celtic Park, and he hasn't got the balls for it. So there was not an incident, but there was a passage of play in midfield where McCown was given the ball from Scales. As usual, McGregor was standing between Scales and the fucking ball, and McCown had a player on him. He took the simple pass to McGregor and then hid behind the opposition player and trotted away. Instead of crossing the player and moving into space and pushing forward, he just fucking marked time. And I looked at him and went, "You're fucking shite." That was it's like there's nobody there to just say, "I'm going to drive this team forward." Do you know, when I just watched that, it was just a simple piece of play in the midfield. I just went, "What the fuck? Are we relying on this cunt?" He just hid. He just fucking hid. He hid behind the opposition player and trotted away. He'd done his bit.
It seems, can I just say, it seems like the collective attitude is very unsure among the entire team.
It's fucking
the way you
shocking,
said that, way you said that, Marty, there's nobody driving forward. It doesn't
No.
seem like there's an awful level of like,
half the players don't.
We know what we're doing.
We already know half the players want away.
Aye.
And they're players that will have to rely on their Maida, their Yang, the players who would need to get his goals and things that we already know that don't want to be here. And it fucking shows. And I was looking back, it was one of my Facebook things the other day came up in my thing, and I was talking to a Hun mate of mine a couple of seasons ago. I think it was Ange's first year. And I'd been saying to him when the fucking the flaming embers of the fucking last Lennon season Celtic were actually doing the right thing, and I was telling him this. I was saying they're getting rid of players because they know the manager's not staying, and they're going to give the next guy the money from these subs, Edward, Nadger, and we're saying all these guys. And I was saying that's what we need to do. We need to fucking take a fucking humble on this season, clear the decks, and back the new guy, whoever's coming in. And that's exactly what we did. But there's such a fracture now between the board and the fans and this is like a football horror story. This is where no club wants to be, where the whole club is ripping at itself. And Names
Yeah.
Gales can say about the protests not having an effect on players, and he's probably right. Like the physical effect of a player on the pitch, they don't give a fuck. They just, as he says, it was like a VAR decision. Waiting on VAR being done. It's no different. As soon as the whistle goes, your head goes back to your job. But the overall atmosphere at the club is just appalling. And like this game tomorrow night, we're playing Stormgrass. This would be a match that we're all looking forward to, and we haven't even really processed what happened at the fucking weekend yet to be considering the next game on the schedule, and it's here already.
See on Scales, Marty's. Like I said to you on the chat, it's the worst I've seen him play on Sunday. But I feel sorry for him, like because he's limited in terms of a player. Right, he's a good defender. He's a good backs to the wall defender. He's not great with the ball at his feet, but he's the one that's getting left to be trying to make these forward passes all the time. I mean,
and he's also the one, and as you can see from the goals at the weekend, he's also the one who's doing the bulk of the actual defending. He's putting himself like he's not heading. Do you know what I mean? He's not standing back towards Schmeichel going, we'll see what happens here. He's out fucking trying to tackle, and he really isn't good enough for that type of football. And I think that it can't be done by accident. It has to be by design. Rodgers is obviously telling Carter Vickers, "You fucking stay where you are. Let him run for you."
Yeah, that's
you know
my
what
point.
I mean?
Carter Vickers is
like you see the goal at the header from the fucking corner. Like Jesus Christ! I mean, it was absolutely like Scott says he doesn't fucking cheer corners anymore, but like that's when we get corners. Like defending that corner was abominable. And Carter Vickers was looking around at everybody else, and I'm looking at Carter Vickers going, for fuck's sake. Like the
my
guy
wee lad
was
watched that, Marty, and he was like,
guy
I
was on his
defend that.
own.
My wee lad was like going, I just spotted him.
Guy
Right?
was
I
on
said,
his
of
own.
course you admit you just spotted him and you got the shoulder around him. He said, he said, like,
He
why
was
is he on his
10
own? I'm
yards
like,
away from the lane.
that is the
standing on his own.
clinical free header.
Totally.
And I, in fairness, smashing header.
No, here,
Smashing header.
but of course it was smashing the header. He fuck's like he'd 3 weeks to fucking head it. Do you know what I mean? It was just like it was just shocking.
See if you want to cheer yourself. See if you want to cheer yourself up, right? Watch the highlights of the Motherwell game from the weekend if you haven't already. And
Is that
check out Stephen Welsh for the first goal that Motherwell conceded.
Oh fuck!
Holy fuck, man!
I know. And listen, so like, and that's my point. Like, we would usually be dipping back into the squad, saying, right, who's next? Get him up, but there's nothing. Do you know what I mean? Unless you're going to bring that Dean thing back, like it's just shocking. And the second goal, then again, Scales being ragdog, but again, Carter Vickers looked as if he was somewhere else. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I really don't know. And if you're going to build a winning team, everybody knows you built in the back, and you keep that kind of solidity. But you've got Tierney, who's hasn't started playing yet, as far as I could see, and now we're down to Ralston, who just has not. Like Ralston should be at this stage he should be like Jackie McNamara was. Do you know what I mean? Coming in as a young player and then being that kind of solid guy who you can just sort of rely upon, but you can't. Like you just fucking can't. And you can't rely on him in attack either. It's just fucking baffling. And again, that young lad Donovan, what the fuck? What has he done? To lose his place, because it's totally bad. Like you could understand it if the team were firing on all cylinders. You go, look, that young lad just can't get in. We are fucking terrible. And a bit of energy and a bit of new ideas would do nobody any fucking harm for about 6 games until we get the ship straightened. And it's just it's so frustrating. And the like you said about Johnny Kenny, Liam, and Forrest coming on, bringing James Forrest on is a fucking act of total desperation. Like at this stage, do you know what I mean? Complete fucking desperation. He should be long gone from the squad. He should be like fucking Steve Miles playing somewhere else at the minute. You know, and he's actually going to probably be a really important player for us this season.
Here's the thing,
At
Marty.
some point,
See if you need James Forrest to do the job James Forrest does. Fucking start him.
but he
But
doesn't
that's
have
the
the
thing,
legs.
Joe.
He doesn't
It
have
doesn't
the
have the
fucking.
legs. Yep,
He
that's what we
can't. He
said.
can't. He can't cover the ground. You know what I mean? He
Yeah,
just can't cover the ground. It's necessary anymore.
yeah.
And Johnny Kenny could be like the fucking return of Henrik Larsson. But we were all saying like at the end of last season, he come on and he sort of showed fleeting glimpses of whatever. But then he just got bombed out again. So you know, this is my point. The key point to take away from this is this team don't know each other, and Brendan Rodgers really isn't doing anything to fucking help that. You know, when you've got players like Negron coming in who show fucking flashes of really decent play,
He's got
but there's
dig as
no
well, though. He's got a dig, Negron.
another one. He's busy, but there's no fucking coherence in the structure to say, right, listen, this is what happens here, and this is Dundee. Pressurize in this way, create this type of football, and we'll win. And I'm not like you know, I'm trying not to be fucking a depressionist because you have got a player like Ian Nacho where if you can't get him playing, he will fucking score you goals. And he forced a great save out of the keeper as well. The keeper tapped the ball over the bar. So he's got, I mean, we'll have a player there who we could base our forward strategy on. But it's not going to work with Yang. And it's not going to fucking work with three or four of the other fucking players who are supposed to be feeding this guy, including Hatate. You know, who's supposed to be your creative midfield outlet if McGregor's deciding to fucking pair up as a fucking sweeper with Liam Scales. You know, there's just no connect at all in the team. They're not playing in any way where you could see a style of football or a philosophy or anything. Now, and as I say, there are definitely mitigating factors because of the fucking state of this season so far, the state of the injuries, the really key players, and the fact that some players shouldn't be here at all. Like, so I actually think it's really easy to explain why we are where we are, but it's no less frustrating.
Yeah.
Ay, fucking fuck. Yeah, Johnny Kenny, right? Johnny Kenny's got frightening pace and he can't finish. But if you don't use him in that capacity, like, you're not going to get much out of him.
Oh, you're not like I'm not like that's what I'm saying about like Johnny Kenny playing in Europe. Like that's how he became famous. He's playing in Europe. Do you know what
And
I
he
mean?
was very, very good.
That's what.
Listen, he's a decent player, but like whether or not he's a standard at Celtic, he's going to make it at Celtic. I don't fucking know because we've never seen him. You know, and you
Yeah.
know people who may be a bit more pessimistic would just say no, he's not Celtic class, but. Like, there is no class at Celtic at the minute, so what the fuck? Our whole forward line's fucked. So you may as well say to him, you've 4 games here. We're going to give you 3 weeks of football. And that's what was so disappointing about pre-season, because he didn't do it in pre-season. And that was his chance. His chance was to really stamp his mark on the team in pre-season, and it just never fucking happened for whatever reason. You know, you were expecting him to have a burst out in July and August, and it just didn't happen. You know, so
Joe,
it's
you
just
brought.
emblematic. Sorry, go ahead, Liam.
No, carry on, Marty. I'll wait till you're done.
No, I'm saying it's just emblematic of everything that's happening at the minute. The whole club's fucked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The whole club from top to bottom is just like totally out of kilter. And this is like, it's a killer for football clubs. We all know it. We've all fucking seen it. We've all laughed at other clubs when they get into that position. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, can he laugh the fucking 100 a minute for fuck's sake? From
I know,
Bucks
that's
Bucks
that's kind of makes it worse, doesn't it? Like, you can't even laugh at
That
the
just
Huns.
shows you, fuck's sake. Man.
See what I think's happened here, right? It's pretty obvious, I guess, and it's nothing too enlightening. But obviously, the players at the club have seen Maeda clear his locker out. They've seen Kyogo want to go for 6 months. They've seen Yang about to go and be kept back. Hatate's probably making noises. Others there. You know, they brought players in late on. So I think a lot of the players, I've seen the treatment of Yamada and the left back guy, I forget his name just now. And they're probably just seeing, there's probably lots of, disharmony there within the players. And they're seeing so many players being treated like shit, either from the club itself or the manager just totally bombing a whole bunch of players out without giving them an opportunity. I know footballers are rich and they're probably just self-interested, but it can't really help with the morale or the team spirit or whatever else is going on there.
And
No one else gives a fuck.
And if the Lordship, Jason Higgins, was on the night, you know what Jason would be saying. Rodgers needs fucking sacked.
Oh,
Because
mate.
we've all seen this fucking rodeo before.
Yep. Yep.
Like,
Said
we've
it in the
all seen it.
summer. Yep. Said it in the
And
summer.
I,
Said it after
and I
Cairo.
and I said to you earlier, or yesterday, whatever the fuck when it was, one day's mailed and the other here. There's only two. What I think will happen is either they'll do what they did in the Mowbray season and put Rodgers out of his misery with a couple of months to go and put a caretaker in, or they'll just wait. They'll do what they did in the Lennon season and just let Rodgers see out the whole season so they don't have to pay him anything. Do you know?
Both of
And you
those,
could see,
they're both shit options.
but you could easily see our board doing either of those because Peter Lawwell is still fucking there. And we all know if you were going to get rid of a fucking manager, you should have done it 3 weeks ago. Then took the international break to put the new manager in, and then say, look, get yourself through November and December here, and we'll look at your transfer budget for January. Like, that is what any competent club would have done.
Can I ask this, right? Does anybody think there's a petulance in the Rodgers team selection?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. He's not playing the players that he didn't rate. This is the thing. His whole philosophy is, I don't want these players. You're wasting the time. You've wasted time going out and getting these guys who I don't fucking want, and I'm the manager, and you expect me to play them. It's like a general manager's position in American football. You know, the managers, the coach doesn't pick the players. It's the general manager who gives the coach players, and it's
Yeah.
always the coach that's sacked. And that's Rodgers' point. The boards don't get sacked. You'll sack me, despite the
Yeah.
fact I've asked for a different type of player, a different standard of player, a different range of players. You've given me all these dicks, and now I'm getting sacked. Fuck you.
But here's
That's
the
the-
point, right? So let's say he stumbles on for the next 2 months, right? He wins a few, lose a few, draw a few, whatever. Let's just say we're still in contention. It's not miles away, and we get to January. He's not signing a contract. We're playing just average, no better than that. What's going to happen transfer wise in January?
Here's the fucking thing, Liam. Anything could happen. Because if you go back to the Mowbray season, we signed about 20 players in January. We signed Robbie Keane. We signed fucking Diamanti Kamara. There was a load of players coming in the fucking door in January. It was literally just throw shit at the fucking wall time, and we got worse. So it's not about it's fucked because there's no joint thinking between board and manager.
That's my point. That's
Yeah,
exactly it.
so
You're not going to buy
it's-
Rodgers players, are you? If he's fucking off.
No, and
At most in 5 months, but probably
and
much sooner than that.
and what they're likely to do is do the same thing again. Just bring in fucking Marty and Schveds and go, well, we're giving you players. And Rodgers will go, is that right? I dead on. We see it happens here. We see. You know what I mean? And it's just a fuster cluck. You know, you can see it coming. The board are just like it's no way they always say like history repeats itself. First is tragedy, next is farce. Where the fuck are we?
Yeah.
We're
But
long beyond farce. Like,
yeah, do you know, normally you get quite angry at this. I'm complete apathy right just now. But, normally you'd be quite angry with the manager who's underperforming so much. But I haven't got the slightest bit of anger towards Rodgers, right? He's doing exactly what I'm expecting him to do because we've seen it before. Right? We've been through the same movie with him. He's saying the same things. He's behaving the same way. His style's the same. There's nothing different from his first stint here. He's doing everything you expect. So I don't have any anger to him.
what's so fucking mental is that this time last year we were almost on a complete fucking high.
Yeah.
I mean, we were doing all right in the Champions League. We were scoosing the league. We were praising Rodgers because he managed the squad well last year. Like, we had hardly an injury between the start of the season and Christmas. Like, it was really, really, really well done. Brilliant, absolutely outstanding management job, to the point where we were saying this is probably the best 6 months of football we've ever seen. Like, we were saying that at the Christmas time, and to end up here is like, it's hard as fuck can anybody be wondering why the fans are protesting.
Marty, I was thinking about this earlier today, right? So everyone keeps pointing to the summer transfer window, which is fine, right? But this team has gone on a downward trajectory since we got knocked out by Bayern, right?
100%.
We ambled through the rest of the season and then fucked up in the final. So what's happened from that day onwards that's made I know Kyogo wanted to go, so he was away. Kuhn probably wanted to go, but he was never going to leave any earlier than the summer anyway. But it's almost like what else has happened behind the scenes that's fucking made this team decelerate so much and just go on such a steep trajectory down the way.
Yeah, it's not rocket science that these things happen in football when your club aren't all singing off the same hymn sheet.
But this brings you back, Marty, to something you said a few weeks ago in the last podcast. Maybe this is just the transition period of when it's going to happen again. Next guy's going to have the same 3-year period, the same 3 year, and the last year's going to be the same fucking thing. Going like
it is 100%.
Tend to move you on, and here's how we're going to oust you.
Harper even messaged me going, "I agree with everything Marty fucking says." That's how bad it's got. Harper agreeing with me.
Do you know what? That's a fucking Black Sun moment.
Fuck me, that's what I mean. Like it's like fucking story time here. It's me and Harper's on the same hymn sheet. But it is, it is just totally emblematic of how the club's being run with the same ideas for the last 20 years. It's so fucking stale, and these guys, as you can see from their public statements and from their meetings with the fans, they think they're right. They think that they have got the best interests of the club at heart and they know best. Such a patrician attitude, that, we know everything here and use are fucking wankers and whatever else. And it's just like, it's I really fear for that, for the fan, all of the protest stuff and whatever else, because they're not budging and they're not going to budge. Do you know what I mean? And like Michael Nicholson isn't getting sacked, the board aren't fucking getting sacked. So what the fuck's next? There's a merchandise boycott happening, which is fine. I'll support that. There's fans protest happening in the stadium. Fine. It's what will be will be. What I was actually worried about was the balls were so small that were thrown onto the pitch that one of our players would maybe fucking do their ankle, tripping over one of them or something. You know what I mean? That's was my thought. I was going, fuck, that's a bit whatever, But like, what the fuck else do you do? There's no other. You even seen last week they tried to hoodwink the Celtic Trust. Celtic Trust, which must be illegal. Like the Celtic Trust is a major shareholder. They asked for when submissions were due to be brought for the AGM. Celtic fucking ignored them and tried to rush on and do the AGM preparation before the shareholders basically had a chance to respond or to be responded to. Surely that's illegal. Like, who the fuck do they think they are? And they will argue like they have no concerns for us as fans. We are customers. I've said this before. We hate that term. We are customers. We hate, fans hate to be called customers. That's exactly what we are. We turn up and pay. We are due customer service. Our customer service is appalling. Absolutely appalling. You would not treat your customers like the way we're treated if you were a normal business somewhere else. But the argument of the PLC is always, we're here for the shareholders. That is our number one priority. They are our only priority. We are a public limited company. Under law, the shareholders are all that matters. And they're fucking the shareholders. It's unbelievable. Like, what the fuck do you think you're doing? And at some point, some shareholders going to go, no, it is. I'm taking you to court here because this has been done, and I have the evidence of it. And there could be some sort of sanction applied to the club for mismanagement. It's fucking mad to think about it. Like, so it's not going to end. It's so frustrating, because. Like, for Liam Scales to be sitting there and going, no, it doesn't annoy us. I actually do understand what he's saying, and I do, I believe him. I believe him when I believe he's telling the truth. But it's a whole other shit that's going on all around it. There's going to be no end. What's the fucking end game here? It's mental.
That's it. It's going to be a long, drawn-out affair, and the games are absolutely chronic to be around as it is. Do you know what I mean? With all this unrest,
and like these fucking European matches, like, are just like, who?
I've never been more fucking apathetic, as you said today as well. Chat, like, who gives a fiddler's fuck? Maybe that was like today. He was like, that wasn't today. It was like last week. He goes, "We'll go to a match soon." I was like, "Do you know what, mate? I don't know if I want to spend a best part of fucking 1,500 fucking euro on a weekend in Glasgow to go and see Celtic at the moment."
Joe, listen, fly in the morning, go karting all day, and then fuck off back same night.
So I would just
he would go for that more. I'd
exactly. exactly.
I would just like to ask the venerable Scott McCrory his opinions. Have I missed anything, Monfrere?
They're fucking, like I said, tease. I took a wee listen back to a pod we done. I think it would have been April 2021. That would have been right, wouldn't it? We're all fucking stuck in the house. I think we were kind of coming to the end of that, maybe, weren't we? But anyway, and it touched around the time of the Celtic shared thing, right? And it was actually pretty good for me because I couldn't really remember what the Celtic shared was about then. And it was the whole Celtic share thing, for people that have forgot, it was to do with Celtic were in a midden. You had all the protests. At that point, we decided to get rid of Neil Lennon and we brought John Kennedy in. And we were kind of chasing Eddie Howe. Ange wasn't even on the tip of any cunt's tongue at that point. So we didn't have any manager lined up. Eddie Howe was the guy we were talking to. But anyway, so what would happen is, if you all remember, we all paid for a season ticket, and Celtic said they would kind of give you the highest fucking thanks or something, some fucking statement they said. And what the Celtic shared was, instead of fucking giving us all a refund, why don't you give us all shares? And I thought it was a good idea, and I think, but it was a fact. What had happened was Celtic basically just rejected the idea by ignoring it as per. And if you remember, we all ended up with a 50 quid voucher for the show if we wanted it as a thank you. Right? Your season ticket get frozen as well for the following year, even though it went up double the amount of the fucking following year. But alas, to the point was, I remember these shows that we done, and we spoke about how our youth academy was a shambles, how guys had been in place far too long, how our board was full of people who'd been there 100 years, how Peter Law had been brought back to the club. And we spoke about how it was something that popped up with me last week, and I've mentioned it a good few times. But see this, Marty, you've talked about them treating us like customers. There's been times in the past where big companies have went, well, our customers asked for this, so we done it to respect our customers. But we're in the total opposite planet in terms of, see, if we asked for something, they refused to even consider it because it would have been seen as them ceding to us. Now, myself and Liam, Jason, we put in thousands of pounds following this club a year. Liam and Jason, much more than me, but the point stands. Joe, you put hundreds of pounds in, maybe thousands of pounds once you include your travel. Marty, if you ever get the trips to work for you, thousands of pounds to come and see this team. And they're saying to us, well, they're saying behind their backs, we can't really be saying all right to you, because if we say all right to you, they know you want more than more. And the analogy I put it like, it's like saying you're Wayne can have a sweetie today because you might want a fucking sweetie tomorrow.
But didn't you do an analysis?
I'm not finished, but I mean, that's where we're at. That's
No,
where we're at.
but before you move off that, did you not do an analysis last week of the season ticket prices?
Well, I'm still doing it. I'm still doing it. I can get into it, but I want to finish it before I kind of.
All right.
Before I get into it, but mate, but basically the point is, Ange came in, the Don Mackay thing happened. We've already spoke about. Don Mackay's turned into Bobo Baldi in terms of he's the greatest CEO in the fucking world because he's not here.
He's Raphael Shade of fucking CEOs.
I mean, so, but the way they've treated us, but the way we allow ourselves to fucking, for them to go squirrel, and we kind of go, all right. I mean, I'll tell you right now, to kind of go off on a tangent, and maybe we'll head that way, is I'm as scunnered by the reactions to the protest as I am by Celtic Football Club themselves. We've got a board of directors who, in my opinion, are actively conspiring against the manager. We've got a manager who looks totally devoid of ideas how to turn this around and looks sick to the fucking teeth. We've got a bunch of players who can't be arsed with the shite and can't be arsed fucking, I don't know. I mean, like I said to you, does Rodgers strangle the team almost sometime where that inventiveness isn't allowed to fucking percolate on the pitch? But there's a whole big bunch of problems with this club that was there before Ange. It was there before fucking Brendan came the first time. And it's there, and it's there, and it's there. And the guys who run us, the guys who have got a fucking ironclad hold of us, and they've told us they're not letting us go. They've said to us, no, we're right. Hearts have walked up, right? And you'll all remember when Tony Bloom was first kind of talked to about coming to Hearts. Every one of us who kind of know anything about football, which I would include all of us, to be honest, we all said, this is a great thing for Scottish football because Tony Bloom's no fucking idiot. He's a gambler, sure, but he'll only do things if he believes it can win. And the fact that he's rocked up, and that this might just be a fucking coincidence that Hearts are doing all right and we're doing shite, but surely anybody who wants to fucking progress a football team look at teams like Tony Bloom's teams and kind of go, by the way, maybe that's something we should introduce. But no, but we don't. We're stuck in our ways and we're arrogantly stuck in our ways. And it's fucking infuriating. And I've got Celtic fans telling me, shut my fucking mouth. I'm fucking upsetting the team and just to back the team because that's the only way we should do it, right? And I've said to you recently, right? I've said it a million times. I don't really sing at Parkhead. I've found myself singing and Parkhead's home support is garbage. Yeah. And for anybody to be telling me just shut up and support the team, they're arseholes because Celtic Park's a fucking midden. It's a midden off the park, it's a midden in the stands, it's a midden on the park, it's a midden in the boardroom. And I'm fed. I don't know, you boys have used the HomeBhoys Twitter. I've engaged with an old guy, and I swear to God, I'll punch him in the fucking heat.
I've seen that. I've been following that, Scott.
He's just so ignorant. He's so ignorant. And I try to talk to him. I was very close to offering the centres on to speak to me, and just so we could talk about it. But the way people talk to people who are trying their best. I sent a message when it went 2-0 to everybody in the collective, and I says, remember, guys, we are protesting because of this shit. This isn't happening. This shit isn't happening because we are protesting. And I says, remember that, because, and I take my hat off to those guys who have been doing this for years, to the Paul Quigleys, to the Jeanette, to the Ultras. See these guys who've been trying their damnedest to get change and trying to motivate a Celtic support who are just fucking stale as a stadium. I'm fucking browbeaten, man. I'm off real, lads.
Yeah, Scott, I think there's a few things going on, right? So I think the Celtic support are kind of like the victims of their own success a little bit here, right? So when you look across the city, what's gone on the last 10 or 15 years and what we've achieved in that time, it's fucking parallel universes. Do you know what I mean? We've had almost unprecedented success in that time, and it's just naturally made loads of people complacent, right? Just completely just expect to turn up, watch us win in style, win trophy after trophy. That's just a natural thing that's happening there, right? Yeah. So that complacency is setting from the success, but also, we've probably got the biggest ultra scene in Britain in terms of the support we've got, which we've had the first standing section in the UK. So all that home support, just expect to turn up and be entertained by the groups now in terms of singing, in terms of creating atmosphere. You know, the occasional derby game, the occasional European game, but generally, people are happy just to come and sit and be entertained by the team on the pitch and the small sections of the crowd there. The people that bought tickets when the stadium was first, redeveloped, most of them are still there. But they're 20, 25 years older now, 30 years, whatever it is. They sit with their pals. I mean, I really notice this at games. I don't know if it's the same by you. The amount of youngish kids there sat there just on the phones the whole game, checking betting apps or just fucking about on the phones. And the atmosphere is diabolical. And I'm as guilty as anybody there. I don't do anything to contribute to that at all. But it's the same people in the same seats. You can't get tickets for games on the public side. Obviously, if you know people, you'll always get them. But so there's no freshness coming in. The away, I know the people that go to away games are very defensive of the fact they've been for years, and that they're quite right. They've earned that place there. But again, it's the same people going to all the games. And I don't know what you think, but I think even the away games, the atmosphere has really gone down the pan the last couple of years.
There was parts of that Dundee game at the weekend on TV anyway. I was like, this is very, very bad.
Yeah, but I mean, right now we're obviously in this mire, but even maybe people have got, maybe because I've gone sober for a few of the games, it might have made a difference. But I just think the atmosphere has been really. Even we did the protest at Kilmarnock for 12 minutes, and I expected when we come up the stairs there'd be a massive reaction, there'd be a massive sing-song or whatever, and there was people just kind of filtered into the seat. There wasn't really any big introduction sort of thing which I was expecting to see. So I think there's no freshness, there's no newness, nothing's going on. They need to reconfigure the stadium. They need to get a big Celtic end as people want to get all the people that want to put the effort into one place and generate some atmosphere and give it a shake up. But there's no desire to do that from the older support, from the board, from the club, and the away allocations aren't changed. They're getting smaller, and people aren't giving their tickets up, quite rightly. So there's no freshness anywhere at all.
Do you think we're part of a victim of like a kind of an ADD world at the minute as well? Like in general, is it like nobody's attention span is long enough to make things change?
Yeah.
No, definitely there is that. I mean, I don't know, Marty, you say you keep your head out of this sort of stuff. But I've kind of been arguing the score on the huddle board quite a bit. I need to stop because it's doing my nothing. But the huddle board, in fairness, is a lot pro than anti. But it took me to the Save Yourselves, right? And a lot of people are going, well, what are you going to do? What's your plan? If you don't have a plan, how can I support your ideas? You've not got a plan. You haven't read the board, but who you got to replace it with? Because I need a plan. I need a roadmap. That was one I seen. And I keep hearing fucking echo chamber, which is doing my shiter. But see, Save Ourselves. They didn't have a plan. They turned up and they fought for a club and they wanted change. And I understand that who they were up against is probably weaker than what we're up against. I totally understand that. But they guys started just because they loved their club. And see if we just read them back, they got dogs abuse. And ultimately Save Yourselves didn't work. But it led on to something else. And then Fergus turned up and Fergus was the shining light. And he kind of led us to the guys like Brian Dempsey. But there has to be a point. But there's a total ignorant naivety to the Celtic supporter now. I read a guy on the huddle board saying, well, the board now know we're angry, so let's just wait till January because I'm sure they'll fucking sort it out. You know what I mean?
But see, is that not the core problem? Is they going like we need like provoking people into some reaction doesn't necessarily mean you're getting somewhere. It just means you're getting a reaction. I mean, they say this fucking guy Bobby Clark, who fucking fell out of the sky apparently, the signing who's coming in January. You're like, well, what?
It's bullshit, Joe. Brendan Rodgers actually broke rank and for once actually said, I never talk about individual players, but I'm telling you, this is bullshit. That's how bad it was in a press conference.
Yeah, so shit like that, you're going like, right, well, there's no proaction, there's only reaction, right? So, which tells you that the club are very firmly sitting in a very comfortable financial pocket where they can just go, yeah, complain all you want. Nothing's going to change. Nobody's coming in. There's no Fergus McCann. Let's be very honest here. You're totally right. Self for change, Scott. I suppose if you look at it on a kind of on a zoomed out idea, is like it kind of set that kind of bat signal into the sky for a guy like Fergus McCann.
Save ourselves.
Save ourselves. Like that kind of set the bat signal into the sky for a guy like Fergus McCann for that kind of information and that kind of idea and opportunity to come his way. Right? And we got very fucking lucky when it comes to Fergus McCann. We got a fucking white knight, quite literally a fucking white knight walking in from Canada with a gang of cash going, I'll pay the bills, I'll take the bet, I'll do it. And like you said about Tony Bloom, guy's a better. Is it a poker player? Entrepreneur, poker player type thing? I mean, and we have a board, we have a club that are very confident that nobody can come in with a bigger financial attitude or acumen than they have collectively, either the non-executive or the executive, and the kind of, you know, the Dermot Desmond level of kind of shareholder. They're quite comfortable going like, nobody can come in and power us out of this. So we're quite happy sitting in the pocket. What will be. And that is the most depressing part about it. And you talk, somebody mentioned earlier on about the not another penny fucking boycott. That the Special fucking £270 jacket is sold out.
Yeah, and I think, Joe, this is what I was trying to make the point of earlier, going back to Scott's point, kind of about the, you know, I see the frustration in Scott and the boys. I'm on the huddle board all the time. I really feel for you guys banging your head against the wall, trying your best to drive something forward, and, you know, some of the kind of nonsense you're having to put up with. But obviously the massive difference between back then and now is it's you know, we've had such a period of success that there is a massive element of the support that's just become complacent and accustomed to what they do. They just want to turn up, watch the game, watch us win, leave 10 minutes early, fucking pick the trophies up, and just probably not care too much about the whole European thing as well, you know. And I know, Scott, you keep saying they deserve what they get, but I think that there is a large element of them that are just probably in that can't be asked and just can't be bothered. I don't know if it's an age thing or whatever it is, but have just become so spoiled by success and just so used to this.
We've spoken about it. You've kind of summarised. You've summarised what we spoke about. I'm pretty sure we spoke about it in the boozer that day. Is the fact that I think I said it on here last time. We had the jungle and we had pay in the gate. Jungle was full of people who wanted to sing and cause madness now. And then if you kind of go sick of the madness, you'd move round to sell at the end of the hunt end or the main stand. And you still knew that the jungle was for, that was what it was for. You went in there, it was almost if you were stood in there and you weren't fucking battering out the songs, day one. You know what I mean? We need people in here doing it. And then we go to season tickets. And as you say, we've grown exactly old with the stadium. The stadiums go old. We've all grew weight. It's the same people. We've maybe moved around. But if one of your season tickets are going up, you could say to me, by the way, I've got a season ticket. I'll get one of my mates in. He's not got a young guy. He's not got to come in. And the irony is the Green Brigade's probably in the same position.
Yeah,
I mean, they're in the same. They might have let half their members are like, fucking, I can't be bothered with this anymore. Yeah. But they don't want to kind of leave. And I certainly think the standing section behind them. But it's what does kill me, and you guys know, you all have experience of knowing Jeanette and knowing the Ultra Boys. And people hate Jeanette without fucking ever drawing face in her.
That does bother me.
They hear and see trying to fucking educate a fucking 60-year-old man who's stuck in his ways. There was one guy I met and he hated the Green Brigade because one guy gave him shit. One guy? I mean, what would they? It's I don't know. Like I say, I think we're at the point we need to take season tickets, have everybody, and kind of fucking veto everybody to see the worthwhile getting back in.
There should be a vetting process. Should there?
There should be. What are you willing to do? Oh no, I'm going to turn up because see people. See, I mean, this fucking old guy, Celtic support used to know what they're doing. Not because we had a support. We don't have a support anymore. We've got Celtic watchers and Celtic cheerers. That's what we've got. People who watch the game and cheer goals. They don't do nothing else.
I would describe those people as they do sports support by appointment.
But Joe, this is 95% of the stadium, right? And honestly, like this is nobody's fucking singing at all anywhere in a home game anywhere apart from the two groups. You might get an occasional burst of one song that will die on its ass, before you even got to the end. And another fact is the songs right now are shite as well. We've got no good player songs anymore. There's kind of no.
And the team's no helping.
Yeah. So it's a whole combination of stuff. Whole combination.
You imagine how James Farris feels. He got a song for one match. After 16 years, his song lasted one match, and it's never been heard again. And it probably never will be heard again. Fucking poor bastard.
We're in a midden, and
it's
like
grim.
I say,
It's grim.
Marty called it. Marty put into words that we all kind of knew, but he clarified it. He says, we're all moaning about Rodgers and who, but in 2 years' time, we'll be doing the exact same thing.
About Kevin Muscat.
About whoever.
Sean Maloney.
John Kennedy. Neil Lennon. Fucking Neil Lennon still in the basket. He's still the lucky tip.
Scott, I'm glad you said 2 years there rather than 3 that was mentioned earlier, because do you know what? It's either 2 managers a season if you're not winning, or it's 2 years and you're off to England or somewhere else. It really is that fucking going back to your director of football chat you've been banging on about for as long as I know. It's 2 years or it's 2 managers a season now.
Chris McCart, head of Celtic Academy, right? He's been at Celtic for over 20 years. Firstly, as youth coach, and he's head of Academy Youth, a position he's had for 12 years. 12 years, right? We've got a guy called Brian Meehan, Academy Operations Manager, joined the club in 1992, and he's held the role since 2006. I mean, see, Brendan Rodgers leaves this summer, right? So here's Brendan Rodgers, the manager. We've got John Kennedy, assistant manager, right? John Kennedy's gone nowhere. So even in the summer, when we need change, when we need a freshness, there's going to be that same voice, right? Adam Sadler will probably get the pump. He'll probably leave with him, right? Gavin Strang probably keep his job. Stevie Woods, we all wanked all the tap at him. He'll probably keep his job. McManus will keep his B team job. You know what I mean? But I just don't know what the fuck. I mean, non-executive directors. Dermot Desmond, 2005. Brian Wilson, 2005. Chris Mackay, 2015. And Sharon Brown, 2016. They're the new kids. They've been 9 and 10 years. Eh? Dermot Desmond, fucking 95. Brian, fuck. No, I mean, it's Michael Nixon's been at the club for I don't know how long. Peter Law, fucking hell.
Don't worry, whenever David Lowe takes over, it'll all be sorted.
David fucking Lowe.
Fucking Rob Lowe. We fucking need this point.
Fucking low life.
Fucking Nick Lowe. What's so funny about peace, love, and
Scott said he wanted to do an hour. We've done a fucking hour. That's what we want to do.
Is there any
wrapping it up?
Can we plumb the depths of fucking sorrow anymore? Fuck me.
Fuck that.
Fuck that.
Fuck that.
Fuck that. Jofus.
By the way, every podcast you play that, shout the Rare Witch. If you're not if you're not on the Rare Witch on Facebook or TikTok or Instagram, shout at the Rare Witch. Paddy McGuire, top man. Fucking
fuck that.
Fuck that. He's an animator, a satirist, and he's also. Have you heard his hip hop, Marty?
No, I have not. No, only seen Rare Witch.
Paddy Rare Witch has a video, right? I swear to fuck, I sent it to my daughter and she would laugh at her bollocks off. It is a rap song about
which is a talent in itself. You've got to say.
it's a rap song, right? And swear to God, it's an animated video and he raps it, right? And it's an entire rap tune, right? Swear to God, it's a good 4 minutes about reduced food in Tesco. Right? So it has the wee yellow sticker on it, right?
Yeah.
The entire thing is those items in the fridge wrapping to each other. One of them sausages, one of them's milk, one of them's eggs. I swear to fuck, it's one of the best I can ever see. Because the hook is why? Because there's a wee yellow sticker on the front.
That's it.
That's the entire hook of this song. He's a fucking genius. Paddy McGuire, Rare Witch, folks. If you're not into him, get on to him. He's gonna be fucking huge. Fuck it.
Right, what are we doing here? What are we doing, Jovis?
We're making predictions. I reckon Arnold Schwarzenegger is going to score the first goal. We're
going to draw them, Arnie. Money.
Right, come on, let's do this right. Goalkeeper, go, Joe. Goalkeeper tomorrow.
Schmeichel.
He ain't getting dropped. Ralston's not getting dropped.
I think Schmeichel.
Oh, Johnson's fit.
Johnson's going to be back tomorrow.
He's not going to play tomorrow, surely.
He'll not big Canadian sex bomb. He will. He's happy.
He'll play an hour tomorrow, I reckon. Yeah, definitely. We need him for Sunday, man. Big time.
Fair enough. Maybe you're right.
Scratcher RC will play on the left back, I think. Old KT's fucking
Tierney
pulling a tractor, man. At the minute,
not dropped Tierney.
I think he'll rest him.
Here's the thing, Rick. I don't understand why Big Hot Sauce can't get in ahead of Tierney, having the impact he's had.
He's a bit like who was that? The one we had, Laxalt. He's good, but he's a bit kind of just running like a headless chicken around the place.
I know, but seeing the current fucking play style, is that not something we could fucking do with? Somebody will be a bit of fucking a wee bit of the Gravison.
I think it's why I would leave Negrin in the team, but I understand the criticism. But he's the only one that's contributing goals or assists or anything.
Negrin's a workhorse. I like Negrin. Right? I
heard your last show where you kind of were. I think Scott, you were saying he's upset the rhythm of the midfield. I wouldn't disagree with that, but he's the only one fucking putting anything in on the old stats, isn't he? Just now.
Anyway, sorry. So we've got Tierney on the left. We got Scales.
No, I'll go Scratchy on the left.
You got Big Hot Sauce on the left. Fuck.
Yep. I would give Trusty a run out tomorrow. I would change most of the team personally, but I don't think Brendan Rodgers will.
Are we ever going to see Pussy?
No. Trusty's back now, so Trusty's going to be ahead of him. Trusty's back fit training and whatever.
That cop must be sitting on the bench going like, what have I done? What have I done?
No, it's madness, honestly. It's madness. Surely he's going to give Engels a run tomorrow now. Again, I heard you on last time. I don't see anything in Engels at all.
Do you not agree that Engels could do with a bit more responsibility to see what he's worth?
I just don't see where he plays or what he does, and I desperately hope he proves me wrong.
He has to be better. He has to be better than Hatate.
But you know when you see a player that can do something, he's not a Hatate, he's not a Petrov type player, he's not a McGregor. I'm not sure what he is, and if someone else has seen more of him that knows, I don't know. But I
have this fear that Engels will leave us and play for a kind of moderately fucking kind of high enough level European team and become a bit of a star.
I watched Hearts Kilmarnock on Saturday. I was really impressed with that boy. Is it Watson? Is that his name? Plays for Kilmarnock. Midfielder.
Yeah, do what scored against us?
I don't know. He plays in midfield, but I thought he was really good.
He scored the heater against us.
Right. Who's the boy playing for Hearts last season against us? Was brilliant. Howie? What was his name?
Fuck me, man.
That's the kind of analysis and fact.
I think this boy's up for Bosman in January, I think, but he had some amount of energy on him, so.
As I said to you, I wasn't into this, and he's a fucking dragging me through it.
Right, well, we're an hour and 20. We've done 25 minutes more than we should have, right? So we've got fuck all else to add other than the fact that we have fear about Sturm Graz in the next 4 games will either send us into some level of a turnaround or off the cliff like Phil Daniels' scooter at the
But
end
see,
of
see
Argentina.
the Europa League games. Europa League is at the same point. If we could beat them all, we're literally at the same point of Europa League as we were under Neil Lennon the COVID year. We fucked it the first 2 games, and then it just became irrelevant. And I think we're close to becoming irrelevant. And the irony being how many teams have, we aren't a Champions League team, we're a Europa League team, and mate, fucking hell, we're in a bad way.
The fuck that.
Fuck that.
Well, look on the bright side. Can you imagine if we'd have got past Kairat and this team was in the Champions League? The Champions League.
You'd be selling tickets at least.
5 goals a game last night, and one of the games was 0-0.
The money would have been a nice fucking distraction though. That's the fucking problem.
What I had the huddle board full. All I talk about money you don't get to see, money you don't fucking get to smell, money knows fuck about. We are in a fucking shade state, and the tone around the club is just. Somebody put on Twitter the other day, the team that got on to play in the Bayern Munich never came back.
Feels like that, doesn't it?
Doesn't it? I was like, you know what? As funny as that is, it's quite fucking insightful because it feels like that was a massive turning point. Right? That's something checked at that point, and here we are dealing. It's amazing how the tone of football, especially with Celtic and Scottish football in general, can turn on a fucking the smallest thing. And here we are suffering, depressed as fuck.
Do you know what I think we should do now? Wrap it up the fuck, son.
Wrap it up the fuck.
Wrap it up.
Folks, that was good fun. We'll be on next week.
I'm gonna go and throw fucking bouncy balls around my front room now.
I smashed my head up a fucking plastic ball wall there. My fucking Celtic are giving me a migraine. Actually, do you know what? Who's making t-shirts? CS Terrace needs to go a t-shirt going. Celtic are giving me migraines.
You know what you could do is like a big sad
Daddy, not Danny migraines. That this is migraines.
No Benjamin migraines.
So watching Celtic is like listening to techno these days, man. It's that bad.
Just said, throw yourself against a bus shelter.
Exactly. It's not good.
So, folks, if you think about Celtic this week and you stand on the bus, just launch yourself into the bus shelter.
Let's go.
Folks, Hill, back next week.
Boys.
And here is Jason Higgins' stout fucking review from Donegal.
The fear might have subsided by then.
All love, all good, folks. Listen, we'll do our best to stay alive and stay positive. Can't guarantee Celtic will do the same thing.
Fuck that.
Fuck that.
Fuck that.